James Gunn. Either you love him or hate him. Or right now, you just don't give a fuck. Now, when you look up this man's name online, you see nothing but a war going on. A war of nerds going at each other's throats, saying he's the savior of DC or he'll be the downfall of DC. He knows these characters. He doesn't know these characters. He ate my sandwich! Seriously, it's almost like politics at this point. Now, in case you've been living under a rock, James Gunn is now in charge of DC at Warner Brothers and is the co-CEO to help make the future cinematic universe for DC. Now, I am a DC fan, and I couldn't be happier. James Gunn's mission is clear: to breathe new life into DC. The brand needs a serious makeover. But before I continue, everything I'm gonna say are just opinions. And in case you don't know what an opinion is, because apparently it doesn't exist online, it's a view or judgment formed about something not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. Not necessarily fact or knowledge. So if you get triggered by this video, then you probably hate my content anyway. Why are you even watching? You know, for the past 10 years, being a DC fan sucked. And it still kind of sucks today because of the fan base being split and going to war with each other. I swear, sometimes I feel like going online and saying, "Everyone, we are getting new DC content. In the end, we all love the same thing. Let's all be friends, brothers and sisters of the DC community." Get his ass! Well, I tried. You know, I remember when the old DCEU was starting out and Man of Steel was announced back on October 4th, 2010. Holy cow, one day after my birthday! And since I am a big DC and Superman fan, I was extremely hyped. I told everyone about Man of Steel, the trailers were amazing, the TV spots, the casting for Superman was spectacular, Hans Zimmer was going to do the music, the guy who did Watchmen and 300, oh my god, I couldn't wait for this movie to come out! And it finally did after 3 years of waiting. I asked my entire family to go, and they all came, even the ones that didn't give a shit about Superman, but they went because they knew how excited I was, and I wanted them to come. The lights turned dark, I got my food ready, the movie started, and...
What was I supposed to do? Just let him die?
Maybe.
I didn't like it. Well, I didn't hate it, but I left underwhelmed after watching it. Nowhere near the hype I was imagining the film would be. I didn't recognize this Superman at all. It ended up lacking the charm and optimism that many associate with the character. Instead of the hopeful and inspiring hero that fans love, we got a darker, brooding Superman. Man of Steel didn't work well for me because it felt messy. The story is full of cliches and dull characters, and it tries too hard to be serious without being fun. Just seeing so many action scenes over and over again just makes my head feel numb, especially with all the shaky cam. Superman's character is confusing and doesn't show his morals clearly, especially when he kills Zod out of nowhere. The plot is just too complicated with too much talking and explaining, which makes it hard to connect. Man of Steel just feels shallow and just disappointing to me. He was nothing like I imagined in the comics, TV shows, and films I watched growing up. I was expecting a 5-star gourmet meal because Zack Snyder cooked. But all I got was this microwave hot dog. With no mustard. And I felt mostly the same with the future installments for the DCEU. Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, and Justice League just killed my soul. And with so much going wrong with the studio interference, rushed storylines, reacting to everything that went wrong, delayed releases, and missed opportunities, just overall a big mess that smells more than a Gotham City sewer after Joker's taco night. You see Marvel next door having the best movies, best box office, everybody loves them, having the best time of their lives, and here I am on the DC side and, well, it could be better. Just overall not a great time. Marvel was taking care of me while all this was happening. And now, in the present, we have a sanitation specialist to clean up this pile of and his name is James Gunn. The guy who gave us the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, and the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy? Sign me up, man! The first time I ever heard about the news was when I went to go see Black Adam in the theater. While I was watching the movie, my girlfriend texted me and she showed me an article that James Gunn and Peter Safran were now in charge of DC Films, TV, and animation. Woohoo! Shh! Sorry. I just couldn't believe it and thought how much sense this made. James Gunn is a big comic book nerd who made many great superhero films. Even the new WB owners will let James Gunn have full creative control at DC Studios. This means artists can finally create without studio interference, leading to a more authentic and visionary DCU, without having idiots in business suits not knowing what they want. And now, every time I hear this man talk about the DCU, I am filled with excitement and hope. The first time I ever heard about James Gunn was in Guardians of the Galaxy. Even though he did Slither and Super before, I could count Scooby-Doo being the first, but he wrote the screenplay for that one. I thought I wasn't gonna care that much for this movie when I went to go see it. I never heard of this Star-Lord, Groot, Gamora, Drax the Destroyer, but boy was I wrong. And now everybody knows who these characters are. From the moment Star-Lord started dancing to "Come and Get Your Love," I was hooked. The movie was hilarious, action-packed, and surprisingly touching. Each character had a unique charm, and their chemistry were amazing. Something I wish Batman and Superman had in the DCEU. Heck, even Superman and Lois! Come on. I found myself laughing, tearing up, and cheering for this ragtag group of misfits to save the galaxy. The way James Gunn blends humor in, heart, and epic space adventures was amazing. His creative vision and ability to bring out the best in his cast made Guardians of the Galaxy an instant classic. It was definitely one of my favorites in the MCU and still in my top 10. Guardians 2 was pretty good. Guardians 3 was spectacular. And the two projects he did for DC, The Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, were absolutely awesome. It was clear that James Gunn wasn't just a director. He was a storyteller who knew how to connect with his audience on a deeper level. If this freaking guy can give you the feels for a talking tree, a blue space pirate, and an anthropomorphic raccoon, imagine what he can do for iconic characters like Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. I felt more for Groot giving his life in the first movie than Superman dying in his second movie. Oh my god, I can't believe I said that. Gunn's strategy isn't just about creating good movies, it's about creating a cohesive universe. And that starts with Superman. So as you can tell, I am so very hyped for Superman. The way I'm telling you guys about it now is how I was telling all my friends and family members when Man of Steel was coming out. I love the casting choices Gunn has made in Superman. Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane and David Corenswet as Superman are just amazing choices. Even the supporting cast look like they've been taken right out of the comics. These choices reflect Gunn's commitment to finding the perfect fit for each role, and I'm confident he's going to help do the same for the rest of the DCU. Even these photos of Superman look great. To me, the thing that stands out the most is the colors. They just pop and bring that hopeful feeling I get when I think of Superman. You can see this guy far away in shots, and I can instantly tell that's Supes. But I also feel that it's because of the colors, a lot of people are finding this suit looking cosplay-y. Since a lot of Superman suits have this kind of color scheme because it's traditional. Brandon did not have these bright colors or Henry Cavill, which is why I didn't care for those suits personally. Even the bagginess I heard people have a problem with. To me, it looks comfy. I mean, I didn't go to school to be a crease critic, so I don't care. Also, the new suit is a breath of fresh air, especially to what came before. Looks more functional, like you can actually move in it, instead of it being skin tight and being restricted and limited. Plus, I feel in post they're just gonna fix these things anyway, like most superhero movies. And I don't care that much if Superman looks like a fitness model. Christopher Reeve wasn't jacked, and he's still my favorite Superman of all time. The trunks are back, baby, and I love it! That's classic Supes right there, I don't care. Even the S I'm happy with. It's the Kingdom Come S, and it has a distinctive design, but still looks recognizable as the iconic Superman crest. Oh my freaking god, the yellow S behind the cape is back. I've been wanting that S back for so long, and they finally did it! I even had my Multiverses account have that S behind the cape. I missed it so much, I'm seriously so happy that it's back. But if I did have one complaint about the suit, it would have to be the lines. They feel a little unnecessary, and I think it would look better without them. But since this suit does so much right for me, I'm willing to overlook it. It's just so cool about how James Gunn took so many parts from different Superman suits and put them into one new suit in order to make his Superman stand out, which I had no idea how they were going to make this new iteration. All these decisions James Gunn is making, I am loving, which makes me more excited every day that passes. I think the more you see from this movie, the more hype people are going to be. So with everything I had to deal with in the DCEU for 10 years, and seeing what James Gunn has done before countless times, can you blame me for getting this excited? James Gunn just brought so many good things to the table as a storyteller, which is the most important thing to me. Being a great storyteller who also knows and respects the source material. If Man of Steel and the rest of the DCEU had stronger storytelling, not only would I have loved it, but so many other fans would have loved it too. Even with its darker tones and serious takes. If it was better written, I would have been more open to the idea and be on board, instead of dealing with mediocrity. From James Gunn's castings, to the photos on set, everything he has said in interviews, everything I am seeing from him so far, I am loving. And it's about time. It just makes me hopeful in what I've been wanting to see from DC for a long time. Since I was a little kid. From the comics to the TV shows, I've been wanting to have these characters be portrayed this way for a long time. People are going to complain, and even some will on this video. And that's okay. I'll just remind them of this again. Not necessarily fact or... We all have our own ideas of how DC characters should be portrayed. Some fans want them to be serious and dark, while others prefer them to be more hopeful and fun. This makes it hard to please everyone, as each person has their own vision of what these heroes should be like. Basically, we're all unique. Plus, every fan complains when a new DC movie or suit comes out, so it's basically tradition at this point. Even Man of Steel was criticized for its darker tone and new suit with no underwear, and now people complain that the new Superman movie is too bright and has underwear. Listen, if you enjoy Man of Steel and the rest of the DCEU, then that's awesome, man. I do not want to take that away from you. It just wasn't for me in the end, which sucks because I wanted it to. But now I get a second chance, and I've been happy for what I've been seeing so far. In my opinion, James has already proven many times that he can make great films that many people like. A talented director. And that's the kind of person I want taking charge of the new DCU. I trust James Gunn, and we will see next year if I am right or wrong about this whole thing. Again, I'll gladly make a video about it. I can't wait! If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and share the video. That would mean the world to me. So thanks for watching. You're amazing, and I'll see you— Tear him a new one! Oh, for Christ's sake.